Alright, here we are, another day, another $2,000 or $3,000. I'm fucking kidding. How many people thought, I'm just asking this because it was on fucking TV last night, and I rarely watch TV anymore because I think it's fucking terrible. Their programming sucks. It's like they can't even fucking, put a sequel on after a movie, you know what I mean? It's like you watch fucking Jaws, and then they replay Jaws again directly after that instead of playing Jaws 2. So, I rarely watch TV, but, I was watching some TV just kind of while I was doing some other stuff, kind of sorting out the last details of getting, my cars and bikes shipped here, and actually considering buying another house that is literally right there, because it's a beautiful fucking house, and I know the guy that owns it. It's extremely well maintained, and it's only going to appreciate in value. So I'm considering buying that house. I'd probably never live in it, but it'd be a great income property. Anyway, as I anticipated, I made a video yesterday. I didn't feel that I was calling her out. I felt like I was legitimately asking Amy Waz why, if these things that she's saying about Rich Piana are true, why is she now waited for Rich to die to bring it up? And I made what I felt like was some valid points about why I think they were lies. The biggest of which being, see if I can stop this fucking thing from shaking a little bit. The biggest of which being, these PMMA injections. Look, we all know that Rich, probably did fucking hit some PMMA once in a while, and talked about the time once or twice that he had tried synthol, this and that, but she was basically claiming that Rich's entire body was made of PMMA, and she showed these, what I thought were, really poorly photoshopped photos, or either that, or literally some other person with, some Rich Piana stencil tattoos that had, the tiniest little arm I've seen in a long time, and, saying, this was Rich's arm before he got PMMA. And I said, go back fucking 20 years to, when Rich was competing with no tattoos. Look at the size he was then. And I'm basically just stating, you're trying to tell me that from the time Rich was competing and, won Mr. California, this and that, that he got down to somewhere around 140 pounds or some shit, because that's what the arm in the video looks like, and basically hid from the world all that time, and then fucking just PMMA'd himself back up to fucking 300 pounds. Now, I thought that was a valid point, and when it came to the allegations of Rich being racist, like I said, I only knew Rich a couple years, maybe 3 years tops, and I just did never notice any racism or racial remarks come out of his mouth any more than any other person. And when I say any other person, I mean fucking black, white, Italian, Mexican, fucking Uruguayan, or whatever the hell you'd be called if you're from Uruguay, and anybody else. So really, come on, and then obviously the infamous Rich beat me issue, which she showed some pictures of some bruises, and just really my thought on that was, it's okay, well, I knew Rich, maybe not as long as you, maybe, I don't know, but in the time I knew him, I didn't know him to ever hit a woman, and if any woman ever deserved to get their ass kicked, it was obviously fucking Sarah. So if he didn't kick her ass, I can't imagine what you would have done to have him do anything to you. And like I said in the video, I don't know Amy Waz, and I offered her an opportunity to contact me and, you know, explain her allegations and her reason for waiting for Rich to die to, you know, come forward with these statements. And as I anticipated, she made no attempt to do so and to back up her story, and I didn't really think she would. Anyway, I think it's just another kind of foul attempt at someone to discredit someone's memory, maybe try to cash in and make a few bucks on the fact that Rich is now passed, and now it's real easy for anyone to say anything they want about Rich, right? Like, just, you know, anybody could say anything, and the man's dead. He can't defend himself. Like, what's he supposed to do? Crawl out of his fucking grave and defend himself every time somebody fucking makes some, you know, fucked up allegation against him? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about today was my issue with Mark Lobiner. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he and Rich didn't get along. That was their thing. I, despite being people's friend, generally remain completely neutral when it comes to their disagreements, fights, arguments, and such with other people, especially over things like I'm a YouTube vlogger, you're a YouTube vlogger, and I am this and you're that. And, you know, I think Mark, like, took issue with the fact that Rich, you know, as far as Mark looked at it, promoted steroids, and I just look at it in a different light. I don't view that he promoted steroids, because there's many videos where he commended natural athletes. I think it was more like he was just wanting to tell people, you know, look, if you're gonna do it, at least do it right, and here's how. But anyway, my issue with Mark is this. I came across a video yesterday that said, don't trust anyone that sells SARMs. And I went, this is like a typical, and like, I like Mark Lobiner, don't get me wrong. I watch, you know, I watch Mark's videos. I've even been known to buy products from Tiger Fitness. I don't have an issue with Mark as a person. I have an issue with this one particular video. So let's get this straight. And it was like him saying, don't trust people that sell SARMs. Now, I understand his point, but I think the video would have been better titled, don't trust people that make SARMs. Okay? Because, like, in the video, he goes on to discuss, like, we don't know the quality of these things. They haven't been tested for long enough periods of time. The recommended dosages and the dosages the company recommend taking are there's a huge gap in between, you know, the recommended dosage, you know, safe dosage as, I guess, recorded by maybe the FDA, and the dosage that the company recommends taking. There's a big difference in between the two. And it's like every time I make a video, some asshole's got to walk by my fucking house and upset the dog. You know what I mean? Anyway, and I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a marketing thing on Mark's part. And the reason being is because he doesn't sell SARMs. So obviously he doesn't want you to buy SARMs from someone else. He wants you to buy products from him. Now, I know that Tiger Fitness sells pro hormones. I really just kind of felt like it was a little bit of a low blow, in the sense of, like, yeah, don't trust anybody that sells this, but trust me when I say not to. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, I know, hey, dude, I know a lot of people do trust Mark and take Mark's word on a lot of things. Most of the time, myself being included in that group. Like I said, I like Mark. I don't have a problem with Mark. It was one fucking video in which I just felt maybe even just had an incorrect title. Because saying not to trust, don't trust people that sell them, didn't have anything to do with like the content of the video. The content of the video was like, you know, we don't know the conditions of which these particular things are made. We don't know if there's other chemicals in them. We don't know if there's a cleanliness issue where these things are being packaged, bottled, etc. So I thought maybe, okay, well maybe it should be titled "Don't Trust People That Make SARMs" or something like that. And I kind of did think it had a little bit to do with the fact that he doesn't sell any. So it's like, obviously, you know, if you don't make something or sell something, you don't obviously promote it because you wouldn't make any money off of it, especially if you have a very successful company like Tiger Fitness. So there's that. As far as that goes, like, I don't even think I made maybe like one or two videos yesterday, whereas I usually do one or two, and then like I'll do one when I take the dog on her walk at night. But I just really didn't have any new, you know, input, you know, anything to throw out there to people that I hadn't already said, and I didn't want to repeat myself too fucking many times because I know I do already. And I don't do it on purpose. I do it for two reasons. One is I want to get my point across, and two is I want people to hear what I'm actually saying, so that people don't hit my comments like, hey, is this what you meant by this, or are you saying this and not this? Like, because really, I don't really respond to a lot of people's comments. I don't really read the comments. The only reason I do right now, and I don't read them, but the only reason I even see them right now is because I'm using my phone instead of the camera I would normally use because it got stolen from the house. Like any email you get a notification when it comes up, and they just happen to say what it says. So I see a little bit of, you know, like maybe the first line of people's comment. So I really don't read them. If you have a legitimate question for me, like, you know, try to put that in the very first sentence, because like I will honestly try to answer your question. I know that I have responded to a few people who have said things that I have viewed as either good input, good question, or good suggestion. Like, I've responded to them, you know, like I will, like, I'll talk to you. Like, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, and I'm not going to respond to people or anything like that. It's just a matter of, there's so much trolling that goes on in YouTube, and then like people want to battle back and forth, and it's like, dude, you know, it's like when I was a kid, we called that telephone tough guy. Now it's like keyboard tough guy or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna have a fucking, you know, a typed out battle with somebody, which is where the challenges originally came from. My challenges to people, you know, saying, you know, dude, come say that shit to my face and I'll pay you $1,000 if you have the balls to do it. I'll pay for you to get here. I'll pay for you to stay here, wherever I am. Northern California, Southern California, Las Vegas, anywhere I own a home. I'll pay for you to get there. I'll pay for you to stay where you want to stay. I'll even pay for your goddamn food if you're that broke. But if you have the balls to say, you know, a lot of the things that, you know, trolls like to say to people, like, fuck, I'll pay you $1,000 on video. And I've also stated, like, that doesn't mean there's not going to be any consequence to you talking shit to me. It just means that, like, if you have the balls to do it, whatever happens, happens. But you will get your $1,000 on video. 10 $100 bills from me to you on video. That's where that came from. And like, it's so far not one motherfucker who talks like they're so tough has even made an attempt to take me up on that challenge. Not one. And I know that a few of the people I've issued it to have read it because they've responded, but it hasn't been like, yeah, I'll be there, whatever. It's like, why they can't, or why they won't, or why this or why that. You know, it's just more excuses and more bullshit from people who are only tough with their mouth or their fingers. And it's just like, that's one of the reasons I don't really respond to a lot of the comments. But like I said, if you have a legitimate, valid comment, try to get that across to me in the first line so that when I see it, like, yes, I will respond to you. Like, I even remember the dude's name, like Jimbo Slice. Like, it was, dude, he was like, dude, I have a suggestion, stop filming vertically. And I was like, bro, I want to. I don't like to watch videos like that either. But, like, my fucking camera got stolen. He's like, get a selfie. Because I told him, I was like, when I film like this, see, it looks like I'm not really, it looks like I'm kind of looking away from the camera. So he was like, get a selfie stick. I was like, good fucking idea. You know, a dude with common sense. Anyway, I'm running out of time here. I'm sure we'll make a few more videos today, but I just wanted to let everyone know Amy Waz didn't get back to me, and Mark, I'm a little disappointed in you.